Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Guam Election Commission to order. It is 5:32, Thursday, August 21st. We are located here at the Guam Election Commission Conference Room of the Oka Building in Tamuning, Guam. We're also live stream at the GEC website at gec.guam.gov/board. Members present include myself, Jerry Chrysostom, Chairman, Vice Chair Joe Mafnas, Commissioner Ricky Orsini, Commissioner Carissa Pangilinan, Commissioner Tony Gumatauta, Acting Executive Director Preciano Gumatauta, and our legal counsel Jerry Diaz. Commissioner Pat Seville should be on his way. Excused absence is Commissioner Benny Panaula, who's off island, and then of course our Executive Director Maria Pangilinan, who's also off island. Certification, public notice requirements. The notice of the meeting was posted on the Guam Daily Post and Guam Public Notice website on August 14th and August 18th. Item number 3, approval of agenda. The agenda is presented there. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented? Okay, motion by Commissioner Tony Gumatauta to approve the agenda. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Orsini. All those in favor say aye. Oppose? Ayes have it. And then we will now administer the oath of office to our newest commissioner, Carissa Pangilinan. Do it up here, right? Okay, raise your right hand. State your name.
I, Carissa Pangilinan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
in the presence of Almighty God
in the presence of Almighty God
that I will faithfully support the Constitution
I
of
will
the United States,
that I will faithfully support the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the United States applicable to Guam,
the laws of the United States applicable to Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
and that I will conscientiously and impartially
and that I will conscientiously and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of the Guam Election
as a
Commission.
member of the Guam Election Commission.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go on to the approval of minutes of the last meeting, which was July 17th.
Mr. Chair, the meeting minutes for approval begin on page 10 for your approval.
The minutes are on page 10.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a motion to approve the minutes subject to any corrections? A motion by Commissioner Tony Gumatauta to approve the minutes of July 17th. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Commissioner Orsini. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Ayes have it. Moving on then to correspondence.
Okay, Mr. Chair, on page 13, Mr. Angel Sablan wrote to the GEC on July 30th, inquiring on GEB's member restrictions regarding accepting an appointment or applying for a superintendent or deputy superintendent if a member currently sits on the board. On page 14 is the Executive Director Pangilinan's response, informing Mr. Sablan employment within the government of Guam is outside the Commission's purview and respectfully referred him to the Civil Service Commission.
Okay, any questions or comments on that? Okay, moving on then to the Executive Director's report. Item A is the election timeline, page 15, right?
Okay, Mr. Chair, we completed the volunteer voter registrar training today and last night for the month of August, and we can say we have 6 new volunteer voter registrars, and this was to complete the public high schools on Guam. And then also we do have volunteer voter registrar training set for every third Wednesday and following Thursday, with September 17th and 18th as the upcoming trainings. Also in September, we have National Voter Registration Day on Tuesday, September 16th.
How many voter registrars are we
We
anticipating?
currently have 39 to date. We have 8 from the Democrats, 8 from the Republicans, 22 from no party affiliation, and 1 independent.
Okay, any questions, comments? Okay, moving on to item B, monthly voter by precinct report.
Okay,
Page
on
22.
page 22 is the July precinct report. The total number of registered voters is at 51,859, adding an additional 250 registered voters since June. And that's also to include the death listing with the removal of 31.
How often do we update the death listing?
Every 15th of the month, we receive a listing from Vital Statistics, and so it's monthly.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're very good at responding to us and giving it to us on a timely manner.
So if you type in a name and you know they're deceased, does it say deceased or is it just off the?
So we get a listing from the Department of Vital Statistics, and we vet it against our voter registry. And if they're on there, we just go ahead and remove them. But if there's any question, we don't touch it because we still have the purge, the 2 consecutive general elections that
Oh,
can go ahead and
yeah.
remove them as a fallback.
Okay. I only asked because my wife's name is still on the roster.
Okay.
She passed away last year. And I
Okay.
thought we would update those monthly or every other month.
Okay, we'll follow up with that.
Okay, item C, the online voter registration. I think that was covered.
Okay,
The motor voter, yeah.
on page 23 and 24 are the online and motor voter registration reports. So online voter registration had 6 online requests with 3 adds or new registrations, with 1 transfer, 1 update, and 1 pending. And the actual pending registrant was just an individual who didn't have a Guam ID or Guam driver's license, so they're aware of that. For motor voter registrants, we had 1,598 applicants with 198 adds, 33 transfers, and 75 pendings. Do note, we did send letters out on July 29th to all the 75 pending applicants, and to date, 3 have replied, so it brings us down to 72.
This one, on the pending, you said you received 3, correct?
Yes, we have 3 replies back
So
from the letter.
Is there a time frame for these people to turn in their pending information or whatever?
No, there's no time frame. They have all the way up until the election. Yes, the last day to respond.
Oh, to provide the,
So
Yeah,
if they
to
don't
provide-
respond, then
Yeah, if
by,
they don't,
by the election time frame or whatever, then it's a no-go?
we actually still have the provisional ballot that they can still come in and provide the information needed. I can say for most, it is the citizenship that's the biggest barrier right now.
Okay.
that's a lot, 72. Right? The law doesn't allow us to set a time frame to that, and you just have it all the way through the, yeah. Okay, Commissioner Pat Seville has joined us. Okay, any questions comments on the online voter? Okay, moving on to voter registrars. I think we covered that already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, item E, the monthly financial report by U.S. Election Assistance.
Okay, on page 26 and 30 are the financial reports for your review. Okay, the current balance for the general fund is $330,298.48 as of August 18. Our current expenditures are at $120,272.72, and the current balance for the HAVA security grant is at $541,419.99.
Okay, any questions, comments on the grant? Yes, Commissioner Singh?
Thank you, Chair. So during the budget discussions earlier this week and last week, I noticed we had a request for an amendment to roll over our lapse funds. I wanted to ask, how much are we anticipating that amount to be?
The lapse funds.
Thank you so much. We will work on getting you that information, and I'll follow up with your response after the meeting.
That's from the current fiscal year? Yeah. Yeah, FY '25 to FY '26. Okay. Okay, any further questions, comments? What was the, in the last meeting, Maria mentioned that they wanted us to cut 100,000? Was it 100,000 from the budget? What was?
Yes, at the time it was 100,000.
100,000, yeah.
Yes. Actually, and a little bit later, you're going to see that they did cut us 82,000. So going on to the budget requests. So for the fiscal 2026 budget requests, we asked for 2.9 million, but there was a difference of 82,000. They allotted us 2.8 million, or that's the current proposed for FY 2026. That would be,
What's that budget?
yeah, it's on item C. But there's no,
Which page is it?
there's nothing in the packet for the budget requests, but it was I know it's C fiscal year 2026 budget requests. I believe that is under old business. Yeah. Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
previous
previous.
packet.
I think the budget was already, but they're going to vote on that. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, they did not vote on it
Yeah.
yet.
So the difference is about
82,000?
80,000?
Yes.
No changes in the
What did they?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
I didn't see any update, but as of the last legislative session, that's what I saw.
the difference. Okay. Any questions? Okay, moving on to legislative bills. Page 31.
Okay, page 31, on July 31st, Bill 5438 was overridden and is now Public Law 3832. It added a definition to candidate/nominee name, meaning the name shall appear as their identification on their birth certificate, their passport, certificate of marriage, or naturalization certificate. It also updated the definition of district, changes the close of registration to 15 days from 10 days, close of volunteer registration to 45 days before the general election as opposed to the 21 days, and then counting provisional ballots within 15 days from 10 days. Then I know also our executive director, Maria, is also speaking to Senator Taitigui to try and bring back that deadline to 21, because now it's at 45, but we want to put it back at 21.
Okay. But that's,
For
is that a separate measure?
Yeah, it'd probably.
It would have to be a separate
Yeah.
measure. Okay.
It's just a note. Yeah, because they moved it to 45, so they want to push it back to 21.
So this is now a public law, right, because it was overwritten?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, any questions? I think most of this features in this bill came from the commission.
Yes, it was
Our
a
recommendation.
lot of
yeah,
recommendations from the 2018 E-Car.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Okay.
it's a while back.
Okay. Yes, Commissioner Sini?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pashano, can you just explain the request regarding the 21 days? What is that related to?
Okay, so back in 2018, there was a recommendation from the commission in our election comparative analysis report that was going to push it back to 45 days. But remember, at that time, we still had a lot of voter outreach. Motor voter isn't what it is today. Online isn't what it is today. So we used to get thousands of applicants, and that we had to manually go through, and we had to vet it. And even in that time, we had an older system. We didn't have the new CVRS system, which really helps us improve our time management, that system. So in that instance, we're looking for 45 days just to assist us. So fast forward till today, 2025, they gave it to us, but I think we've advanced since then. So
Yeah.
we look to go back to our 21 day, which we're all comfortable with.
Okay. Okay, any further questions on that? Okay, item G is the election campaign finance.
Okay, Mr. Chair, July 15th was the quarterly deadline for campaign reports. All candidates for the 2024 election campaign finance have reported and is up to date with the new filing schedule. For 2026, 7 candidates have filed their organization or campaign reports, 2 for governor, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Joe Augustine, 2 for senator, Senator Shelley Calvo and Senator Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, and 2 for Attorney General, former Senator Tom Fisher and Peter Santos. And we have 1 for the 2028 election, which is current Mayor Wayne Santos.
For the 2028?
2028.
Yeah.
He's in advance.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Good planning. Yep. And everybody is current on their
Yes.
election and expenditure report. Okay. Okay, any questions on the campaign finance? Okay, moving on to the old business.
Okay, for old business, Mr. Chair, the campaign finance reports, forms, and advisory opinions are posted on the GEC website. Jack, our IT expert, is researching campaign finance software options to offer us. Mr. Chair, the commission transmitted the updated GAR and election manual to the governor's office and the attorney general's office on June 27. Just today, we actually received an approval from the AG's office, so that will be sent up to the governors today. The executive director is looking to work with the oversight chair to maybe fast track the AAA process via legislative bill. Otherwise, it will take about 90 days in receipt from the legislature to pass.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, now we covered a little bit about FY26 budget requests. Is
Yes.
anything different?
No.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
can we get clarification from legal counsel on the AAA process? So, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we have to wait 90 days once the rules go to the legislature. I believe it's only if the legislature doesn't act that it's considered passed.
Yeah,
So I don't think we have to wait 90 days. But if the rules go through intact as we sent them, there should be no issue.
so if the legislature doesn't act on it, then
Yeah.
it goes through.
So from what I recall, the cannabis rules and regs didn't need a bill. The regs were simply sent to the legislature after AG approval, after governor approval, and then the legislature didn't act within that amount of time, and it was considered automatically adopted. Yeah.
So we don't have to wait the 90 days.
No.
If they don't
If
act
they
on
could
it
just-
within 90 days.
Yeah, we could just get clarification if a bill is
Yeah.
needed. Yeah.
So can we get clarification legal on that?
We will research that issue and
Yeah.
give you a response as soon as possible.
Okay. Okay, items covered FY26 budget requests, the precinct realignment.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, going back, modernizing Guam's election.
Oh, yeah, I'm
for
sorry.
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, the subcommittee plans to meet on Wednesday, September 3rd, when the members return from travel, two of our members. So Jack just finalized the draft IFB today, and he will be sending this out to the subcommittee members for your review.
This is on the electronic poll book.
Yes, for the
This is
poll books.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any questions on that? September 3rd, right?
Yes, September 3rd.
Okay, item C, we covered FY26 budget request, right? Okay, then there's 2025 precinct realignment.
Okay, Mr. Chair, Public Law 3857 was passed, granting GEC the flexibility to realign precinct to not substantially exceed 1,200 per precinct. On page 55 is the proposed realignment. So we are looking to realign the current 72 precincts to 59. The realignment also allows us flexibility to add precinct officials, maximizing at 7 members. So currently we are at 5, which we can stay at. I think it goes down to a minimum of 3, but we can also maximize at 7 if needed. There were 13 precincts that were affected, 13 districts that were affected, including Agana Heights, Asan Meina, Barragata, Chalampago, Dedido, Haget, Mangilaw, Malesu, Mongong Totumaiti, Tumuning, Jigo, and Jotnya.
Okay, just for public edification, what requires us to realign the precincts? Is that turnout or?
Yes, it was turnout, but also, so especially the lines coming up in election day, it was the election return center. So our election return center really helped reduce the amount of voters on election day. So with that, we're allowed to increase the amount of voters per precinct on election day, knowing we can't handle it. And then also with the new public bill, it granted us 7 additional precinct officials. Yeah, so the early vote center was,
Yeah. So to go from 72 to 59 precincts.
correct.
Okay. And that was passed already, so that's it. Okay. Any questions, comments from the commissioners? Commissioner
I have a
Pagano?
question.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I just want to know if we calculated the financial impact on the reduction of precincts. What are we saving?
So currently we have 360 precinct officials with the 72, so that will bring us down to 295. And with the 295 precinct officials, and that goes 500 each. I think it's about a 22,000 cost reduction.
And the 295 is factoring in increasing up to 7 officials?
No, that will still
Not
leave
yet.
us at 5.
That's just
Okay,
said,
Yeah.
so
Because
just reducing it to
yes, because even within the past election, we still had a little bit substantially over 800 voters. We still handled 1,000 some per in
with the 5.
Dedido with the 5.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
so you'll only
and then with the poll
potentially
books.
increase to 7
Yes.
if we're looking at like the Dedido, the
Correct,
bigger,
correct, yes.
the bigger precincts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, any further questions? The realignment?
Yeah, this one.
Yes.
But yeah, I know that this is already in the law, but what is your time frame in trying to publicize this out to the voters? Because, you know, they want to know, like, for example, you're already cutting down precincts, so now they have to know which way are they going.
Correct, correct. Thank you so much, Vice Chair. If this proposed realignment was to seek approval tonight, we could actually start pushing this out. And of course, like you mentioned, the earlier the better. We can get this out to the public so we can actually increase our voter participation for the 2026 gubernatorial.
So you still need our approval on this one? Okay.
Yes.
Because didn't we approve it before we sent it out to the legislature and then they passed it?
So the legislature allowed us to bring them down to 59 because before it was 800.
Yeah.
That's what the amount was. So the legislature brought it up to 1,200, substantially not.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you guys would like to,
So then you need a resolution. to-
yes.
Okay.
And you need that tonight to, okay.
Well, the sooner we
Yes.
pass it, I
The
guess.
sooner
that's
the
fine.
better.
So we
All
could
right.
go ahead and start
So
implementing.
is there a
that.
timeline? I mean, I know it's only August. And the election's not till August of next year, the first election, but is there a timeline that the commission, the staff has come up with for public education?
No, we have
Yes.
not yet. So it was just, I believe, August 18th. It was just passed.
Yeah. Okay. But at least come up with a proposed timeline. I
Right.
mean,
Okay,
having it too early, they'll forget.
thank
Because the
you.
election's not till August 1st next year. But I think if, the headline of your release is precinct change or something that grabs their attention, then they'll pay attention to it. Because you're right, it may create some chaos in some of these precincts.
Right.
They get upset that they changed the precinct and they get upset and they leave, they won't go vote.
And then we'll
So-
also be increasing our social media presence in this
Yeah.
upcoming 26
Okay.
election. So,
So yeah, if you can give us just a draft timeline as
Okay.
to what the plan is to get this out to the public.
right.
Yeah, we just need to follow up on that because, some of these voters, when they go in there and they don't see their name, they get frustrated and say, the heck with it, I'm not voting. So,
Yeah.
the sooner the better we get this out, the better for the voters out there to know where they're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I encountered that a couple of times.
Yep. Okay, any further comments? Yeah, Commissioner Pengelin?
In addition to the timeline, if we can ask for the communication strategy as well, to be added to the
Yeah.
timeline, so we can sort of see what the plans are and maybe give some feedback as well.
And then one thing I would like to add is also for Dedido and Jigo, we did keep them within with the names. We kept them as close as possible, so a lot of it is not too different from the 2022 elections for polling sites.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the villages that have different locations will be the challenge.
Right. Yeah, so we didn't want, if you went to Okudu in 22 or 24, we don't want you to go
Yeah,
to
to
Liguan
go right,
in 26, because that will cause a lot of controversy.
Yeah, so if we can have both the communication strategy and the timeline to get this out, appreciate it. Okay, so do we entertain a motion now to accept the realignment from 70, for the 59 precincts, right?
72 to 59.
72 to 59 precincts. So is there a motion to accept the precinct realignment from 72 to 59 precincts?
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the precinct realignment as presented from 72 to 59 precincts.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Ricky Orsini to accept the precinct realignment from 72 to 59 precincts. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carissa Pangilinan. Any further discussion on the motion? Commissioner Gontalto, you look puzzled. You look puzzled you have a question or? No discussion? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, any abstentions? Okay, the ayes have it, so the motion is adopted. Okay, let's move on to Bill 15438. You want to explain what that is?
Okay, Bill 15438 was signed into Public Law 3858. This law requires proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote.
And then, so that was passed, Bill 153 also?
Yes, 153 was also passed and signed into law, Public Law 3857. This law allows GEC the flexibility, again, to realign the precincts to not substantially exceed 1,200 per precinct, and it allows for precinct officials maximizing, again, at the 7 members per precinct.
Okay. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah, these are just recently signed into law. Okay, moving on to item,
I do have a question.
Sure.
I mean, it's law, so it's probably academic whether it's a problem for us. But on page 45 of the packet, so I'm just curious if this is going to create more work for the staff, and if so, how much? So people have to prove their citizenship now, okay? Passport, certificate of citizenship, or a combination of documents from the list in paragraph C. And it's one document from, it's C1 and C2. So you have to have one document from each list. Is that, I mean, are those documents we normally have, normally review?
So currently, since earlier this year, we've actually implemented this. The commission actually implemented this. So all the new registrars have been already implementing the citizenship. It is going to be a little bit harder, I see, especially today. We just had a lot of the high schools train, but they're on board to try and push it to see if we can, because that's going to also be new. But we did practice this, I believe, in 2014. A little bit earlier, this was implemented, and then it was amended to remove the U.S. citizenship. So it is something, it's a past practice that's back to be re-implemented.
yeah, it was done previously and then removed, and then now we're back, just this year, right?
I think it was in 2014 and then they moved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, actually, well, think about this for a second. I had just noticed this as you were saying that. Under C1 double B, an acceptable primary document is a birth certificate, certified birth certificate, issued by state, county, or outlying possession of the United States, which I guess means Guam. But that alone is not enough. You now need you need also a secondary document. So if somebody brings in their GMH birth certificate, that's not enough.
No, it won't be
Has it
enough.
ever been?
So what they'll need is there's going to need a photo ID, and they're also going to need that photo ID when they come to vote on election day. So the proof of U.S. citizenship, like if I came to register and I had a photo ID, I will also need a certificate of live birth or marriage or divorce decree that shows where I was born to prove my citizenship, unless you were to have like a U.S. passport or U.S. passport card that shows your identification and proof of citizenship, just like the naturalization certificate would.
Okay. So we've been doing that all along.
We actually stopped for a certain amount of
yeah.
time, and then now it's back.
When the
Since
proof of U.S. citizenship was removed.
Yes, it-
Back in 14,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. Any further questions? Yeah, Commissioner?
I think the requirement for the ID is also to show that you're the person holding the birth certificate, because that was when you were a newborn, and they need to see your face, right? But, sorry, just to clarify, you said, though, so it's a one-time check, obviously, then we register you, but when they come to vote, we're not expecting them to come in with their certified documents or anything, right? Should just be the ID.
Correct, just the ID on election day,
A photo ID.
or at the early vote center.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Any further questions on those laws? Okay, we'll move to the executive session for the executive director's evaluation. Are we comfortable with that?
We need all the, yeah.
Yeah, Benny is out. I mean, we can proceed and then he can submit his evaluation later. That's one option, or wait until he returns, which will be the next meeting in September.
You know, we've really been just delaying this evaluation. I feel it's, we are being a little bit unfair. I mean, we should have messaged every member of the board if we have wanted to take this particular item tonight, that we would appreciate that everybody be present.
Yeah, I think Commissioner Penala told me he completed his evaluation. He just saw file number, he didn't submit it.
He completed his
Yeah,
evaluation.
but it wasn't submitted, so, until he gets back. So, I mean, you know, Maria's patient. Because this was due January, I believe, right? And we did submit the new, or I guess the revised form. It's not really revised, it was the same form that we submitted. It was just where it says self-evaluation on the reviewer side, that's the only change there. But yeah, I mean, we can, what's the preference of the commissioners? Do we wait until Commissioner Penala returns so that we can, we've discussed it already, so it's just now the evaluation. And Commissioner Pangilinan has just rejoined the commission, but she's worked with the executive director, so I think it's fair for you to add your 2 cents to it, right? 90 days. Yeah. Because they were going to evaluate the meeting to go into executive session. Yeah. So is it, commissioners?
So I think if it's more deliberative, right, and we're kind of rating her together, then I'd prefer to wait for Commissioner Penala. But if we're just individually rating, then we could do it now if he's already completed his. But if it was more something along those lines.
Yeah. I mean, because we did have some discussions. I think we were just missing Commissioner Meno at the time, right? So yeah, I mean, I leave it up to, so Commissioner Batata would prefer that we just get it over with tonight. And others would prefer to wait so that we, as a body, all evaluate her. Because we're individually actually completing the form individually, as opposed to a group doing it. Because then we have to decide based on that, any adjustment.
You know, for me alone, I mean, this is just me though, and I echo what Commissioner Orsini is saying, that I rather see that all the board members are here, whether Benny already submit his, but you know, the input that we have to share also as well. But this is just me, you know, I rather that we have all the board members here, and if it's going to be next month, let's try to make it that everybody's here. If they cannot make it on a certain date, then we have to find a day where everybody's going to be here, so that we can all put our 2 cents in. That's just me saying that too.
When is Commissioner Penala back? Do we know? 29th, right? Oh. Yeah, so it'll have to be in the September meeting, which would be the third Thursday.
Do it relatively early in September?
Yeah,
Is everybody will be here?
yeah. Anybody traveling in September? Yeah, yeah. So we can probably move the meeting up a week. Well, we're not in executive session at this stage yet. So we're just still discussing it on item G, is that G? Yeah, item G. So what we'll do is we'll just table the evaluation, not go into executive session. And then we'll put it on the agenda for the September meeting. Yeah. And we can make that meeting a little bit, maybe a week earlier than normal, so that it's not too far off, right? Okay, that's where we'll go? No
I
executive
guess on
session?
the same token, Mr.
Yeah.
Chair, is that we just need to have everybody here in September and let's get it over and done with. So make sure that everybody's here rather than prolonging it again, so.
Yeah. So I think if Pisano or Anna, if we can take a poll of the commissioners in the month of September, what date, so that everybody can attend that. Normally, we meet on the third Thursday of the month. So if we have to meet a week earlier, or even, and as long as everybody's here, is present on island, then we can complete the evaluation. Right? Okay.
So what date?
Well,
The third Thursday is the 18th,
the 18th, so we can move it up to the 2nd.
2nd,
Yeah.
I think the,
September 11th?
like
11th.
Pashano or whoever, should call everybody, all the board member and see whether they're gonna be here in a certain time frame. And if they're all here, then let's make it a day that everybody's here. Rather than, right now, we don't know what the venue is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's appropriate only for your team to call everybody and say, is this day is okay? And then that's it. Let's target it.
And then
for
let
that
us know,
day.
and then
Yeah.
we'll issue the notice, the appropriate notice for the board meeting.
The sooner the better,
Okay.
that's all.
It's going to be on a Thursday.
No, depending on whether the other members are gonna be there.
On Mondays, I won't be able to make a meeting on Mondays, and I won't be able to make a meeting on Wednesdays.
So we can move it up to the second Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's target the second Thursday. Normally it's the third, but we'll move
Yes.
it up a week.
So we'll look at September 11th?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, everybody that we know of here will be on island. We just got to find out if Commissioner Penala will be on island. And then if so, then we can proceed with giving notice to that. Okay? Okay, then we did the new business, right? That's the pre-hearing realignment motion?
Yes,
that you
that is
needed?
correct, Chair.
Okay. Okay, legal counsel report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There is nothing new to report in either item A or B on the agenda.
Okay, public comments? Seeing none, we'll move to scheduling the next meeting, which would be September 11th at 5:30 PM. And just take a census of all the commissioners. That's like 3 weeks, right,
Yeah.
from now? 4 weeks, yeah. Commissioner Orsini?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just going back, just at least maybe I missed a meeting, just hearing that the executive director is going to ask our oversight for legislation. I'm not sure if there was a motion yet to approve that. I think, because it's a policy decision, the board should have a motion. So that way it's explicit that the board is asking for that legislation. If Pashano can maybe explain it again, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for the AAA process, right now, we're looking at, once approved at the, the 21 day? Okay, so currently, right now, as the law states, 45 days prior to the general election is the close of volunteer voter registration. And then we went ahead and followed suit for the primary 45 days prior. In the past, it's been 21 days prior to the election was the close of volunteer. And as I mentioned earlier, it was the 2018 election comparative analysis recommendation that they actually took and moved forward and passed and made it 45 days.
And so just so I'm understanding it correctly, we initially asked for it in 2018, before motor voter, before online, because we needed more time to process the registration. But now that we have other options, faster options, we don't need as much time to process registration. And so reducing the amount of days that we close the appointment of registration clerks actually widens the window for people to register to vote. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. No, 45, yeah. Yeah. Is there a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'll make the motion to approve approaching our oversight, requesting for legislation to amend the window for the appointment of registration clerks from 45 days before to be effective, right, until midnight on the day, from their appointment until midnight on the day that is 21 days before the next general election, instead of 45.
Instead of 45, 21 days. Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second to that motion? Any, second? Second by Commissioner Pat Seville. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye. Oppose? Abstain? Okay, motion carries. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, any further, so the next commission meeting will be September 11th, Thursday at 5:30 PM, assuming everybody's here. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn? Moved by Commissioner Garmentata, second by Commissioner Seville. All those in favor say aye. Okay, meeting's adjourned. It is 6:19.